WVBN, the Rich Video Blog Network, home to weekly NFL predictions, great personality profiles, great professional wrestling video blogs, great sports video blogs, great MBTA video blogs, and a whole lot more. Collection of my work goes back to June of 2014 on various social media websites. RVBN, the only video blog on the internet that matters. Time now, 7:44 in the evening, Berwick, Massachusetts. It's Saturday, June 3rd, 2017. It's about 64 degrees out under cloudy sky. Some raindrops. Tomorrow's going to be 70, but the rain starts late in the afternoon, and it looks like on and off rain Monday, Tuesday, and part of Wednesday. Temperatures might be struggling to get into the 60s. Next Saturday looks 82 with humid weather and thunder showers. Wait and see how it plays out. Some news to report on the RVBN Newswire. Miami Marlins pitcher Edson Voges became the first Major League Baseball pitcher to pitch a no-hitter this year, so congratulations to him. Former Major League Baseball player Luis Gonzalez rescued a woman from a car which exploded. He's a hero. And players to London, England. 3 more attacks happened within an hour of each other, and it looks terrorist. When is this gonna end? Somebody has to beat up these terrorists, eliminating them all, because terrorists don't care about anybody. They want to destroy the world. Somebody has to stop these terrorists. Who's going to stop them? We need to stop them. That's about it on that. And I'll be back with my third and final video blog subject of the night, which will be about the top 10 worst, biggest draft bust of all time in the NBA, NHL, Major League Baseball, and the NHL. But first, hear this. Tomorrow on RVBN, only 2 video blogs for your entertainment because it's Sunday. One will be about the personality profile. Tomorrow's personality profile will be about the late great game show producer Mark Goodson. And the second final video blog of the night, to end the top 10 list for the time being, will be the top 10 greatest draft steals of all time for the NBA, NHL, Major League Baseball, and the National Football League. I am back. My third and final video blog subject of the night is about the top 10 biggest draft bust in sports history, which includes the NHL, NBA, NFL, and Major League Baseball. These top 10, these draft picks look, some of them were kind of saviors of franchises because they were high draft picks, but they turned out to be bust. Number 10 on this list of the top 10 biggest draft busters of all time, draft pick busters of all time. Akio Smith was a quarterback drafted by the Cincinnati Bengals in 1999, the third overall pick in the 1999 NFL Draft, behind Tim Couch, who was drafted number 1 by the Cleveland Browns, and Donovan McNabb, quarterback, drafted number 2 by the Philadelphia Eagles. Smith had only 4 years in the NFL, and he was awful. He only passed for 2,000 some odd yards. He only had 15 touchdown passes. He threw a lot of incompleted passes and interceptions. Eventually, he ended up on the bench for a few teams, and then he tried to play in Canada. Number 9 on this list of the top 10 worst, biggest draft bust of all time, LaRue Martin, NBA, the number 1 overall pick in 1972 by the Portland Trail Blazers. He only played 4 years in the NBA, all with the Blazers. They sucked during this time period, and LaRue only averaged 5 points a game. That's not good for us number 1 draft pick, so that's a big bust. Number 8 on this list of the top 10 biggest draft bust of all time, Alexander Day, who was drafted number 1 overall in the 1993 entry draft by the Ottawa Senators. He was a center. A lot of people were saying he was the next big thing. He signed a then record rookie deal of $12.5 million. And he was quoted, says, "It's good to be drafted number 1 because there's a lot of people who were drafted number 2 are soon forgotten." You know who was drafted number 2 in the 1993 entry draft by the NHL? Chris Pronger, defenseman for the Hartford Whalers. Chris ended up having a Hall of Fame career. And Alex Daig just became like a journeyman NHL player. He was like a third line player at best, bouncing around the Senators and the Wild and the Flyers and other teams. He played in Europe. He was known in 2003 to date actress Pamela Anderson. And he only he played 600 games, averaging, only had about 250 points or so. That's awful for a number 1 draft pick. Number 7 on this list of the top 10 worst biggest draft bust of all time, Patrick Stefan, who was drafted number 1 overall by the Atlanta Thrashers in 1999. He was center. He had such a great juniors career. A lot of big things were expected for Patrick Stefan, but he suffered some injuries during his career. He only scored about 70 goals or something, and only had about 160 points overall, and that's awful. He's infamously known in 2007, while he was playing for the Dallas Stars, to score a goal on his own goaltender. Number 6 on this list of the top 10 biggest draft bust of all time, Sam Bowie, who was drafted number 2 overall by the Portland Trail Blazers in 1984. The Blazers should have drafted Michael Jordan, but they drafted Sam Bowie because he was a center, and they thought with Bowie and Clyde Drexler, they could contend for an NBA title. And Sam Bowie came out of Kentucky, but he was injury prone, missing a lot of time due to broken legs. Number 5 on this list of the top 10 biggest draft busters of all time, Ryan Leaf, who was drafted number 2 overall by the San Diego Chargers in 1998. He only had a couple of years in the NFL. He was goddamn awful. He had a big meltdown in an interview in 1999. Number 4 on this list of the top 10 biggest draft bust of all time, Brian Taylor, who was drafted first overall by the New York Yankees in 1991. He was a pitcher. A lot of people would say he would be the next great Yankees pitcher, but he blew out his arm in the minor leagues, and he was never the same. He never made it to the big leagues. One of the two only number 1 overall picks in big league history never to make it to the show. Number 3 on this list of the top 10 biggest draft bust of all time, Steve Chilcott, who was a catcher, which the New York Mets drafted overall, number 1 overall in 1966. Steve had a minor league career 5 seasons. He never made it past AAA. never making it to the show, so that's a bust. Number 2 on this list of the top 10 biggest draft bust of all time, Jamarcus Russell. He was drafted number 1 overall by the Oakland Raiders in 2007. A lot of people said he was the savior of the Raiders, but he only played parts of 4 seasons with the Raiders. He never was a star. He was released by the Raiders. Eventually his life spiraled out of control, and he's broke. And number 1 on this list of the top 10 biggest draft bust of all time, Greg Oden, center, Portland Trail Blazers, drafted number 1 overall by the Blazers in 2007. He only played parts of 4 seasons with the Blazers, and he had leg injury after leg injury after leg injury. He's going back to Ohio State to get his degree, and he's basically out of money because he spent all of his signing bonuses. Tough. And that's about it on that. I'll be back tomorrow. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Google Plus with 2 more video blogs for your entertainment. Keep calm, everybody. I'm a Julie Brent guy. Molly Roseblood, WCCO Oxen has nice likes. Elizabeth Hart, so stunning. She's best. Amy Sweezy's awesome. Awesome Amy. Linda Church of WPIX channel of New York. Such a like Cougars. Got the best leg in New York State. Barnhan. Bobby gives us ABC 11. Sweet Southern accent. Best legs in Raleigh, North Carolina. Heidi Watney of MLB Network rocks, and she has nice legs. And Lauren Shahadi of the MLB Network rocks. Best legs on the MLB Network, and a cute leggy brunette. Bye.